Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome to the YouTube channel. Welcome to the podcast. And if you're here, it's most likely because you just watched my Instagram reel about soulmates and if they're real or not. And what I feel like I had a prayer in a meditation with God the other day. And I was asking God, are soulmates a thing? And why have we put so much of our energy in the human experience into our romantic partner? And I feel like we can all relate to this. Like we have this Disney Channel or Disney movie kind of fantasy about being a princess and a king and this romanticizing love. And when we find our person, our soulmate, then all of our insecurities and jealousy and doubts and fears will wither away, right? And we all know that does not happen, and it is not to be true. Our lovers, our romantic partners, do help us learn a little bit more about ourselves and help us dissolve the story we've been given ourselves. But I feel like when I was in prayer and reflection of if we have soulmates, God was telling me that we come here to earth with soul pods, with soul tribes. And there's a collective group of souls that we decided to come to earth to figure out the human experience together. But most importantly, you can't fully live a sovereign soul experiencing human until you have dissolved the ego of the human, until you have killed the character in which you've been playing your whole life of survival. And so many of us, we start pure. We start with the right frequency in our childlike wonderness, our childlike expression. We dance, we play, we draw. We think we're the most beautiful person in the world. We think we're the funniest person. We think we're the best dancer and the best singer. And then the human condition starts to get slapped onto our face, and we start to dim our light. We start to shrink. We start to live in fear, and then we start to perform out of that fear. We start to create this egoic kind of character because we are trying to survive. And then we live most of our life with our intentions of where our compass is going, our ship is going, our avatar, our person, and the intentions at the foundation are wrong. Like the intentions of I want success, money, fame, a nice body, I want all these different things is because we're trying to perform and we're trying to survive, although there's a little boy inside of us, a little girl that is terrified to be authentic. That's it. And so as we perform and we have a nice car and we have muscles and success and we're playing this character, we attract lovers that aren't in frequency with our truest self. That is why we get into relationships and out of relationships, because we attracted that person which they were dating the frequency that we were creating. They were dating the character that we were portraying. And then when they find out who we really are, or they trigger us, or they bring up our traumas, we get into fights and arguments, and then we end up hating each other, right? Like that's the dance of romantic love. And sooner or later we go, okay, I keep dating the wrong person because I'm performing the wrong frequency. And then we go on a journey of healing and spirituality, and we start to find out the kinks of our traumas, the kinks in the hose between our authenticity, the kink in our voice, our throat, our expression. And that is when we start to join communities and people that hold up mirrors to us, that we can now see where the story we've been playing our whole life was created from the trauma we experienced when we were young, or even when we were a little bit older. And so what I'm trying to say is there are a group of souls, I believe, that this kind of was what came through the prayer, that are looking for you. And I know something deep within yourself, you're looking for them. But most importantly, something deep within yourself, you're looking to kill the character you've been trying to be liked by everyone. You're a chameleon. You're trying to fit in. You're trying to be good Christian, good this, good that, good whatever it might be, good son, good daughter, good friend. And you're just slowly killing yourself and distancing yourself from finding your people and your people finding you. And so the whole goal is to return back to the self-love that when you were a kid, you weren't accepted for your authenticity. You weren't loved for your authenticity. You weren't received. You weren't witnessed in your authenticity. And so it no longer felt safe. And so as we learn to first transcend our nervous system in the human experience, we can then transcend in the spiritual realm, and we can start to figure out the kinks and hoses. So then hopefully at the end of the day, we can share our story, our voice, our message, our love, our dreams, our goals, our pains with the world, and they can find us. Even our weirdness. You got to be weird. If you're not being weird, it's going to be harder for them to find you. So your goofiness, the music you like, the dance moves, the whatever it is. And then as they find you, you all have keys for each other to unlock parts of yourself to remind yourself who you are, where you came from, and why you're here, so that you can have a purpose, so that you can have joy, so you can know where your compass is pointing, where your ship is pointing, so you can know your why by finding your soul tribe. And so if anything in this video, I hope and pray you continue to figure out what it is that is getting in your way of self-expression, of self-love, of the freedom of where the kinks and the hose are, and you magnetize whatever frequency you're giving out. So if you're dating the wrong people, if you have friends with the wrong people, if you have the wrong job, the wrong money, the wrong body, it's just because you're trying to untangle the kinks between, you're aligning yourself. You're realigning, which once got you out of alignment, which was the trigger, the charge, the story that you've been told yourself, the emotion you didn't know how to feel safely. So you start to feel sadness safely, you start to feel anger safely, you start to feel joy safely, you start to dance safely, you start to express, and then that's the sonar, boop, and then that person goes, boop, there you are, I've been looking for you, you weirdo, where you been? And hopefully you can start finding your people and start remembering your story, start remembering your why. And when you find out your why, you find out where your compass is pointed, where your ship is going, they jump on board, and the prayer is you have this purpose together. You have this dance together. And it's still a little clunky because the human experience is hard. There's a 3-dimensional game that we're still playing, and there's certain things that are here. But I hope some of that made sense. Let me know below. I love you guys, and I hope to make longer form YouTube and podcasts and videos like that. Subscribe, comment. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Peace.